Hello and welcome. It's Katrine on a Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock and we have May 7th. So I'm coming live to you, and I just actually switched the topic because I wanted to bring that up in terms of research reports and false claims. It might be a little bit of a touchy subject, especially for the ones that distribute information that is maybe not having, in Germany, you say hand and foot. So what that means is basically that it does not really have enough evidence to be true. So I was just in a group, and it's a private group. I'm not going to name any names. But there was this one post where it said, "Is this one safe?" And that was basically, I can share that because I took a screenshot, but again, no names. Entire screen. I'm going to come over here. So I took a screenshot of this bottle here, and I wanted to get other people's opinion, especially if you're watching this and if you're coming on or if you're watching it later. So this one is the oregano pill soft gel. It has oregano in it, 0.2 milligrams. It has ginger oil in it, and it has fennel oil in it. So what I wanted to actually do for a moment is, first of all, I take those ones. I'm not stepping back or down or anything like this. But then there was an answer basically in the group that said, and again, I didn't have any, I'm not going to put any names to anything, and I blocked it out. So there was the answer in the group: I would not take this. Oops, I would not take this because you can't tell, and if it were fennel essential oil, that's carcinogenic. Well, first of all, if we go a little bit deeper into any studies, and if you really studied aromatherapy, you also know that fennel oil is not carcinogenic. It is the compound or the constituent of essential oil, the estradiol. And again, this one has not been tested in human beings, only with mice. And also, it is interesting to me that this post I made has been removed then, which is of course totally fine and up to the owner of the group. But if you really want to spread wrong information, I would suggest when you do that, at least do it the right way. So fennel essential oil is not carcinogenic. And we also have heard that and seen that, and there are many reports about this out there as well. So I would first of all love, if you're on right now, is what do you think about this? So if you were to buy these pills, I forgot the name. Is it new? You know what? We can make that actually. Let me see. We can actually find the brand of this one. I remember it is a New Direction. Oop, undo. I want to do that. Okay, it is New Direction. It is some other. Anyway, so first of all, this one here has fennel oil in it, 0.02 milliliters. And I can't read the back of the thing, and I can also not. Oh, it's Now Foods. Exactly. Let's just see. Now Foods. Olive oil. Oregano oil. So I think it's this one here, Now Foods. And I don't take Now because I don't like the brand. I take another oregano blend as a brand, especially when you come on with the flu. but I believe this one. Yeah. So here you go. We have this one here. It has oregano oil in it. It has ginger oil and it has fennel oil. And it's also the Foinculum vulgare, which is mentioned in those scientific reports. Now, it had, sorry, it has 0.02 milligrams in it. So going back to the comment of this person, and let me again make sure I cut out the name quickly, because I don't want to name any names. I think that's at least fair, but I wanted to bring this to your attention. If you see claims being made based on information not true, I think we have to start calling that out, because in my opinion, we cannot have someone talk about this without knowing the truth. And again, I would not take this because you can tell if it were fennel essential oil, that's carcinogenic. No, again, it's not the fennel essential oil, it's the estradiol. And again, it has not been tested in with human beings, in humans, so in vitro. So let's see, PMC. I'm going to find this report back. I'm a little bit stumbling over this one because I just saw that and I changed the subject, and I guess I'm more appalled than anything else. So you can go to PubMed, you can go to many other sites and find your own reports. And I actually read through this entire report because sometimes, we are wrong, and maybe sometimes often we are wrong, and that there's nothing wrong with being wrong. It's just don't remove my comment because my comment is not bad at all. It was a good comment, but it got removed. Anyway, so when you go through this, what I do, we have in our Grimm tool, we have the so-called Science and Research Simplifier, because I am not a pro in reading scientific reports. There's a lot that goes into that. And Robert Tisserand has way more knowledge there than I do. And he's been studying that for, I don't know, dozens of years. And someone removed your comment. Yes, someone removed my comment in the group. Yep, but not in our group, Jackie. Not in our group. It was a different group. So I took the report. So if you want to know, and if you have the Grimm, I took the report, this entire thing, and I put it into the Grimm scientific reading helper, because I created this one at one point since it was important to me to understand a little bit more than I do. Scientific reports can be huge. They are a lot, and there are pros that read them. So anyway, it came up here. Can estradiol in fennel seed decoctions really be considered a danger for human health? And then again, of course, we need to see, is it a fennel tea or is it a fennel oil or is it anything like this? So definitely do your own research. But it explains a little bit more what a study is and what the key findings are in this study. So it really pulls out all of the information. So I can only encourage you, if you have the Grimm tool, go to the prompt section and go to this one. Anyway, let's just go on. Pure estradiol carcinogenicity pathway involves blah, blah, blah. I cannot even read half of those things. But it gives you more implications. It also gives you a credibility rating a little bit of the report itself. And then down here, it also says one more time, fennel seeds are likely tiny plant packages that contain natural oils and other substances. So depending even what this one is using, I'm not sure if they use oils. So in tea, that helps babies with tummy troubles and gas, and also for cooking to add flavor to food. So many people use fennel, right? In many ways, fennel seeds, fennel oil, fennel in those type of pills. So I'm wondering, how do you as an aromatherapist actually treat fennel? We need to start doing our own research, not going out there and removing posts because it doesn't fit maybe the group environment, I mean, it could be everybody's own business, private groups, it stays. But if I see the number of people in groups that believe this type of information, fennel is carcinogenic, without any background information, where does it start for us aromatherapists to know the truth or not? Now, we have one version. We can always go to the Tisserand Institute, obviously. They do deep dive research, and they give you a lot of amazing information. You can go out and learn how to read your own scientific reports, and maybe that is very time consuming, but at least you know what you're talking about. You can learn that. And number 3, talk to Jackie, because she knows where to go and get this information. Where you're referring to essential oil when they removed your post. Referring to essential oils when they removed your post. Let me see. That's a good question. The constituent, I said, I didn't say essential oil. I said the constituent, estradiol, has shown tumor growth in mice. I did not mention essential oils. Should I have? I mean, it was obvious because it's an essential oil group. Okay, so when it goes down here, what did the study find? The study found that while one chemical in fennel seeds called estradiol might be harmful if taken alone in large amounts, the other natural substances in fennel, tea in this case, not oil, tea, act like bodyguards that protect us from this harmful effect. So it's like how lemon juice can be sour by itself, but when mixed with water and sugar and lemonade, it tastes good and doesn't hurt your mouth. So it gives you the information. So I just want to see, let's see, what do you say, Sylvia? I agree. A person must do their research before they make a public statement that something is carcinogenic, or stating that something is not, when it is known to cause cancer. So it is known apparently to cause cancer in mice, but there has been no evidence in human beings that it can cause cancer. And often what I also found interesting is that what they do, where was that? It was so interesting. So most animal studies have focused on isolated purified estradiol, providing a toxicological profile specific to this compound rather than the broader context of the entire fennel decoction. In reality, estradiol is often consumed as part of a complex mixture found in fennel tea or seasoned dishes, accompanied by other beneficial compounds such as flavonoids, which may mitigate any potential negative effects. Therefore, when assessing the safety of herbal products, it's crucial to consider the entire phytochemical spectrum rather than isolating individual components. So in general, I guess we need to, I don't know, I see where they were talking about even gives a dilution ratio. I see they were talking about, wait. Here, come on, Jackie. Take this link. You can come on. I'd like to have that discussion. If you join that link, I think you can actually come in. So I'm really interested how people, I hope you're watching from the right channel. You should see it in the chats. So I'm wondering if you want to come on, or anybody, actually, I think I can have up to 10 people, something completely new. I'm wondering how everybody else is actually handling scientific reports and how you're going after when, for example, there's oregano oil available everywhere, I guess. And then here we see, I think that's, ginger and fennel is in here. But then we also need to consider the amount that is in there. And then also it does say oil, so I assume it is fennel essential oil. I would assume that. And it does give you caution for adults only, not take this product if you're allergic to oregano, fennel, or ginger. Well, how many people know that? Not recommended for pregnant or nursing women. Consult physicians if taking medication or have a medical condition. Keep out of reach for children. Well, that's good that they say that at least. Ah, there's Jackie. That is so cool. Thank you for joining. Can you hear me?
It's still back.
That is so awesome. Okay, so you know what? This is good. It's something completely. Can you hear me?
It's it's like catching up. Hang on, let me fix that. Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, no, so I'm so glad you're so spontaneously hopping on
Oh,
here.
wait a minute. It's I'm getting like the back feed from before.
Oh, maybe is that maybe because of me?
I
I
hear
don't
you.
see can you say something?
Hello.
Yeah, that's great. I don't hear anything.
I keep hearing you after.
Okay.
I don't know how to get it. I think it's because I had my headphones on and my phone rang. So
Oh.
it paused and now I'm catching up. I wonder if I can get it live somehow.
What if I go mute?
Yeah, I can hear you. But I also hear myself later.
Oh, that's highly annoying for you because I don't hear that at all. Do you want to go offline or online again?
Let me try to rejoin.
Okay. Oh, Sylvia, I love her background too. Yes, she has such a cool background. It's the entire Go branch. I love that. You make a good point. Researching the safety of a product, essential oil, or herbs is very important. Unfortunately, finding a good research source is difficult. I also liked Tisserand. Yes. And the thing is also, there are not, I think, so many studies that we can find that specifically talk about the essential oil. So, even more important, I think we cannot wave our hand at something that really hasn't been studied as well. So, um, let me see. Does that work now?
It's still funky.
Okay. Do you wanna like just I know you were talking and you've been taking several classes and you were enjoy bowls as well. Is when you
Oh,
see
wait. Oh, I figured it out. I had to take out the YouTube.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's better.
So when you go in research or what you learned in terms of research data, and we know it's a jungle out there,
Hmm.
especially I mean, when it comes to everything we know, from my perspective, I know that the Tisserand Institute knows much more than many other people because they constantly go very deep. And I also know that Joy Bowles has been really involved with research data.
Yeah.
But what is your opinion when you go online, you see someone, whatever, post something, you give your opinion, despite the fact that it gets removed or not removed? We don't even want to talk about that. But in general, how do you go about researching essential oils? Or let's say even that comment, fennel is carcinogenic, you shouldn't take it, or you shouldn't use it, or you shouldn't take it, whatever that comment was.
Hmm.
What is this one here? I would not take this because you can tell, and it were fennel. Okay, it's a bit mumble jumble. Fennel EO, that's carcinogenic.
Yeah. It was originally talking about a supplement, though, right?
Yeah, it was talking about this supplement here, this now oregano oil.
Wow. And it said it had fennel in it.
Yeah, it had fennel oil in it, but 0.02 milliliters, which is
So 19 milligrams.
19.3 milligrams for one soft gel capsule. And
Well,
one separate capsule, I don't even know how heavy that one is.
I would, the first thing I would do is look at Tisserand's book.
Safety information book.
But then if I don't get enough information from there, then I would have to go look for research. But
yeah,
it's hard to read research when you're not a PhD.
exactly. So, what is your next step then from our aromatherapy perspective? What do you think an aromatherapist should actually do in any way? If it is a supplement, you might have customers come to you. It's like, I'm taking this olive oil supplement or whatever. What do you think about it? So, what would you tell other aromatherapists what they should probably or could be doing?
They need to either use some tool like the Grimm AI to be able to read research they can't read themselves, or learn how to read research. I mean, take classes. That's what I did.
Yeah, that's what you did. And
I still don't. I've taken all of Joy Bowles' classes. I have all the Tisserand classes, and I still am not confident to always know what I'm reading.
right. So what makes it difficult to actually understand in these scientific reports?
Well, you don't always know what the statistics. I mean, just the statistics alone will make my brain explode, just because I'm not good with math. And
Yes.
they're random statistics. N equals blah blah blah. I know that means how many people, but it took me taking all of Joy's classes to learn that. So
yeah, and I think it's also what they say in these injections of about 500 milligrams estradiol per kilogram. That's already where I'm like, what?
So, yeah. Do you know how to figure that out? I don't.
Yeah, exactly. So
And they're injecting it. I mean, first of all, are they using the right Latin name? That's the first thing.
yeah, so that one
No.
is it was mentioned somewhere. Here it is.
Okay.
So that's the same as it is
They don't
here.
even have the Latin name a lot of times,
Exactly. I saw that too. A lot of times the Latin name is not even.
Yeah. So you're just making an educated guess. And if you're not educated on it, you can't guess.
Exactly. So that's where it starts already. For me, it is also always the review people. Has it been peer reviewed? Have
Right.
doctors written that? Who has written? I mean, I don't know any of these people. I can name them and put them somewhere in my
Right.
documents.
And how do you know if they're not financially backed by the
Well,
company?
on top of it, exactly. So there is no way of knowing actually
Not
what
unless you
they're at.
go look up all the names, figure out where those people work, and then you still don't know, because if there's investments, you don't know. I mean, you can't know.
No, you can. And that's true. The investment part I have not thought of even, but it is true. And remember the one friend we had, how appalled she was. I don't want to name too many names, but she was super appalled by how the studies have been peer reviewed, and half of the people might not even read the paper actually because it's a lot to read, and they just put their names to it. And
Yeah. There's also well, I mean, companies that are owned by other companies that they act like they're independent, but they're really owned by the same company. And there's one testing company that's owned by a major brand, but nobody really knows. You have to dig deep to find that information.
oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here, Sylvia just said Tisserand's book shows fennel bitter and fennel sweet each have different estradiol levels. Oh, you have the book there, Sylvia?
Yeah, I
So,
have it open. The daily maximum oral dose is 73 milligrams for sweet fennel.
for sweet fennel. And then this one here, I think, is bitter, actually. If you have it there, Sylvia, for the bitter one, that would be interesting too, because they call it the bitter fennel, I believe. I can just do bitter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, bitter fennel.
no information found for bitter fennel for carcinogenic. Estragol is a rodent carcinogen when exposure is sufficiently high.
So then this one, 54 for adults, milligrams for adults in bitter. So even so, whatever it is, 0.02 milliliters,
Mm-hmm.
which is 19.3 milligrams, has one pill. So they are actually saying one soft gel 1 to 3 times daily with food. So you will be just under the limit, I guess, or around the same limit as the 54 milligrams for adults bitter.
I'm trying to see what it says. I mean, I personally don't use fennel very much because of the estrogenic. I got in trouble for using fennel in my case studies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got told. I used it in my case study because the person loved the scent.
Yes.
And my case study manager was like, "Why would you use that?" And I didn't have a good answer.
I love fennel. I love the scent. I love the taste. I love licorice as well. And
well, the thing about the fennel is that it can be estrogenic. There's a warning somewhere here for it about, let me look. I mean, there are warnings for fennel. I mean, I personally wouldn't use fennel just because, but for oral consumption, I mean, I don't know. Contraindications for fennel. Let me find out which one this is. Sweet fennel are pregnancy for all routes of contraindications: pregnancy, breastfeeding, endometriosis, estrogen dependent cancers, children under 5.
So that's for sweet fennel.
Yeah. And oral cautions are diabetes medication, anticoagulant medication, major surgery, peptic ulcer, hemophilia, and other bleeding disorders. A daily oral dose maximum of 73 milligrams, and Tisserand and Young recommend dermal is 2.5%.
2.5 for the sweet one.
IFRA is 0.2%.
Dermal.
Yes. And they're recommending those based on 4.8% estragol content.
Oh, so that's another one. So if you see that exactly, that is another one. I almost forgot GCMS reports. Okay, GCMS reports fennel bitter. Let's grab just one. I'm just curious right now. I just know my way around Floriana the best. I'm gonna grab one of those. So they have sweet fennel. Okay, I can open this one up.
You said the other one, that on the now one was bitter?
Yeah, the other one was bitter. GCMS reports. So, it's such an impromptu live. I just wanted to, I felt like really wanting to discuss that, just how other people, because often we just sit here and, okay, so here we have one.
Well, I think the biggest problem is that people see one thing and they think, oh,
That's all of it.
carcinogenic, don't ever use it.
Exactly. So I think,
but also you could say that from the other side, just because somebody read something in a book that its therapeutic properties or whatever, then it's good for that,
I don't even find it in this report here. I don't find estradiol here at all in it. Nothing.
Can you Can you search?
Yeah, I did. Extra. It's not in here. I can see all the other ones, but not
There
this.
should be 2.8 to 6.5 according to, but that one's the sweet.
This one is actually the bitter.
Okay, so according to Tisserand, the standard is 2.8 to 6.5 estradiol.
Huh. Isn't that a bit weird? That it doesn't have anything in it. I always open up several ones, but there are not many GCMS reports. Which one is another good one? Nature's Gift?
Are you sure that one is not sweet? Because sweet is not showing any. Oh, yeah, it is 1.1 to 4.8.
So I have a sweet one here from Floriana, but let's go here.
So there's more estradiol in the bitter than there is in the sweet.
So why don't I find anything in the bitter? Let's see this one here. And open it up. And estro. Here it is in this one. This one is the sweet one. It has 3.674%, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then fennel here. Does this one have a GCMS report? Oh my God, the mosquitoes are coming. Children avoid use with children under 5 due to estrogenic properties. Maximum topical use 2%. Oh yeah, and they named Tisserand here as well. Salvatore, Jane, and but also there's no GCMS report here really. Yeah, so this is like what I found when we first set up Blend Precisely. The amount I spent to look for correct data is incredible. The time you can spend to find that. And I know you went through this entire exercise.
Yep.
Sylvia says, I don't think many people are aware that there are 2 types. I know. And that is in addition to everything. There's actually, I think, 3 types. Bitter, sweet, and sea fennel too, which might be different. Did you know that?
It's probably different.
Here when you put in.
And then also when you see some of the, like some people, they use old Latin names that aren't even accepted anymore.
Yes, also true, especially around vetiver. That's why we have a few.
Rosemary. I had a disagreement in a group the other day with a woman who told me rosemary, sage, and something else were all mint.
Oh.
And I said, no, they're not mint. They're sage. Because rosemary was changed. It was reclassified a few years ago to sage.
Yes.
And the person was still using rosemary, the old Rosmarinus officinalis, and is not that anymore. Somebody bought something. The thing came up. Somebody said they ordered sage. The label said clary sage when they got the bottle, but it was listed as rosemary. It was really confusing the way I said, well, they're all sage. So I said, first of all, I wouldn't buy from that company anymore because they don't even know what the hell they're selling you. I said, but then, rosemary is a sage. If you wanted, sage, it was a spiritual group. So they were looking for sage, like for cleansing.
Of course.
Not for, any like therapeutic properties. So I said, well, if you're using it just as sage, then it's fine. It's rosemary as sage too, and then this other lady popped in and she said, well, they're all mint. And I was like, okay, well, I gave her my information. So that's all I can do. Have a good day.
And that is probably anyway definitely another thing we learn from so many different sources. I think that it is, for many people, probably for that reason alone, questionable whom to believe and what to believe. And why do you actually become an aromatherapist if there is no regulation
Well, that's
at
what
all?
happened to me. I didn't plan to become an aromatherapist. I wanted to know what I was doing was safe. And then I just kept taking classes, and then the marketing got to me, and I took this class and that. And then here I am. I took all the classes.
But you have such a big knowledge base. At least the thing is also, I think, as aromatherapists, it's also really, really important to know immediately where to go to look for solid or trustworthy
Right.
information to you.
Yeah.
And um
I
and
mean,
I
and
hmm,
with you and Seth being able, I mean, with him, anybody can go on the AI
yeah.
and
Oh
just
yeah.
put it in. And,
I
you know,
I
the thing is, it tells you what it wants you, it thinks you want to hear.
so I
So
tried
at least
that this morning actually. You go on. Sorry. Yeah. You
you
can
and
go on.
Seth can train it to go to the right place. And
Yeah.
you've done that with the Grimm, you know, where just ChatGPT just, I mean, I've pulled up garbage. I mean, and you know, AI is good for a lot of things, but unless you know who's training it, you have to know what you already know.
It's 100%. So ChatGPT is actually nothing different than Googling something.
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
all it's using is the Google information, just in a very
Old good information.
yes. So I tried something this morning and I kept on correcting it. Just,
Hmm.
I just went into ChatGPT and I was like, okay, can you tell me? Oh, it was about the dilution ratio. And then it took geranium essential oil under lipid oils or carrier oils. And so I have to know, as
Right.
an aromatherapist, is like, wait a second, this dilution is wrong because you took geranium essential oils and put it into
A
carrier
lipid.
oils or lipid oils. That's not cool. Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for seeing that mistake. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God. By far, we are not there. You have
No.
to use a solid database actually from the right resources in order to.
Yeah.
So if you can combine a database with AI, then you're better off. AI is amazing, and we both know this in so many ways. I mean, it's incredible in helping brainstorming, and even as a coach and counselor, sometimes I use it, and there's enough information, broad information. It has enough, but this really
Hmm.
detailed information, you still need the knowledge of an aromatherapist. You actually should be even knowing how to read these type of reports, I think. And third of all, it would be really good to not distribute any kind of bullshit information, I guess, but rather look up your own information. So by going through this little exercise, I would consider this one as safe
Yeah, I would.
and not worry about it, especially if it does something good in your body and it helps you, if that's the case. I mean, that's a whole other story. But if nobody goes through this exercise, is this one now safe or not? We don't know.
Well, they're just going to listen to whatever people say on the internet.
Yes. And Tracy says bitter has the same contraindications as the sweet one, I guess she means.
Yeah, they do, but they have different limits.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, great.
I mean, they all can have their own people. You can have a contraindication, but if you use it under the limit, then it should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Will you be okay with me sending out this live to everyone? Because that is that is part of the live. And Jackie, just for now, where can people find you? Thanks
on
for hopping on, but yeah.
my website, infinitearomatics.com.
infinitearomatics.com. I think infinitearomatics.com. I'm just going to put it into the post as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're so spontaneous. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, so seek out Jackie as well. She is a book full of knowledge and has her own community and has her own website and has her own. You see what's in the background. She will invite you to.
My virtual map of my community.
Yes, it's so cool. So go ahead and just definitely visit Jackie at her infinitearomatics.com website and get all beautifully blasted with essential oil knowledge and discussions you have in your rooms and everything else. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for hopping on.
You're welcome.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's more the gift to me today because I was like all out there. It's like, how can they delete my comment? What is going on? But here we are.
I think that was not the cool thing to do, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't even care so much about it. It's just more about, how let's discuss how we can seek truth as everybody being in the same community, more or less, of aromatherapists. We have to work together. Otherwise, at one point, there's no believable system anymore. And yeah, I'd rather work together. Thank you, Sylvia, as well, and Tracy for chiming in to in regards to fennel, sweet fennel, and all the other stuff. Love it. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.